Hi, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You guys, look at the growth that we're having. Like, wow, we have so many people on. And I know there's a few that probably couldn't get on tonight, but I just kind of want to dive into, I love to set kind of some mindset work before we dig in. Taylor and I have a few things we want to share and some really cool stuff kind of on the horizon that we want to help you guys with. The growth that we're experiencing, I know you guys know this, and I know we keep talking about it. And I think for those of us who haven't experienced growth at this rate, it's just like something we can't stop thinking about and seeing and being like, holy cow, this is incredible. And so I'm going to keep talking about it because this is where you guys get to take what you're seeing and you get to apply it to all the conversations that you're having, right? Because if we see what's happening and we really take note here and we visualize like that, when I say to you, this is massive, and I say to you that I've never seen anything like this, and we all are seeing and feeling the same things, it's true, right? And the fact that right now, just already as a team, we're on track. So we did 54,000 last month as a team in our very first month. We're on track to do 90 this month. Now, I'm not saying that's like, but I set goals and I love to set goals, but it's not the end all be all. But right now at this point, we're on track to do 90,000. That's a pretty big increase for month two. And that's massive growth, massive growth. And I don't think, I keep saying this and it's like, I don't think I even understand it, but I don't know if any of us can quite wrap our heads around what is about to happen. But if we hold this inside of our hands and we don't gift it, because this is exactly what I've been trying to say. I'm like, we're literally able to gift. I've always wanted to gift women and men an income. Like, here's an opportunity that I know for without a doubt that you can create and grow and succeed at. Here you go. We've got it in our hands, right? And so let's shine and let's share it. And I want to kind of share quickly. I've had a couple conversations today, and one of them being, I think it's important to not gauge anything that's happened in the past. Like, maybe you've been with another company, maybe you didn't have success, maybe whatever the case is, right? Don't use the past story from last time, from the last thing, to be your story this time. I'm just telling you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what didn't happen, what you did, and whatever. None of that matters, because this is a completely different opportunity. This has never been done. This has not been done. No other company's doing what we're doing here. So you're not even able to compare it. Okay. I want you guys to create a new story for yourself, a new idea, new goals, a fresh start, a fresh chapter. And it's literally you against you. And the only thing holding us back, right, is ourselves. The other quick thing I want to just kind of share, and Taylor and I talked about this today, and I'll let her kind of piggyback on anything I'm saying here. But I had a conversation with a brand new advocate today, and I don't know if she's on, but we were talking. She is on, but we were talking today about, and I've shared this before, and I just want to share it again because I think we all have a an idea about money. Like, we all have a relationship about money, and I'll be the first to say that it's held me back in so many things, right? Like, my perspective about a certain thing, whether or not how much it costs, like when someone tells us like it's too expensive, maybe it is for them. Maybe it truly is too expensive for them. Then it's not the time. It's not the time for us to help them because they're just not there. And that's okay, right? But then you're going to have people that are going to be like, I don't know if I can sell this because I don't know anybody that would want to pay for that or whatever, because a lot of times our perspective about a situation has everything to do with our perspective about the topic, right? The money, right? So if it's like I've been using the word abundance a lot, and I've shared this before, but I just think that that word is incredible, because when we come from a place of abundance and there's so much of it to go around, we come from a different perspective. And so I just wanted to share that, because allowing someone else to dictate whether or not they can afford it has nothing to do with you. Because I'm telling you right now, there's so many people that need these products, want them. We've never been in a space as much as we are here right now with the product we have and the timing that we have here. So with that being said, I hope you guys are super excited. Taylor and I have basically we wanted to talk about, Taylor, do you want to piggyback off of anything that I said there?
No, I'm good. You covered it.
But we want to kind of cover like how to kind of sponsor, because if we aren't sponsoring, if we're scared to sponsor, right? Because we like want you guys, first goal when you come in is like to get to team leader, 2 advocates underneath you. Okay. And this might feel hard if you've never done it. If you feel like you've struggled to recruit in the past, again, we're dismissing that idea because it doesn't matter. Like, you literally just need to get in front of people and transfer the energy and excitement that you have for what we're doing. That's it. Or utilize your upline or utilize an opportunity call, which we're going to talk about. So we kind of want to talk about 4 things that we thought were really helpful in like how to sponsor and the basics of that. Do you want to like kick it off, Taylor, with that?
Yes. So the number one thing when it comes to talking about sponsoring or just like thinking about talking about sponsoring is to fall in love with the opportunity. So I don't know about you guys, but when Tabitha told me about Compass, I was like, oh yeah, cool. CBD with great standards. Sign me up. I'm good. Like I'm signing up without really understanding the commissions, the bonuses, the opportunity, just the full blown opportunity. I was just ready to go. And I think a lot of us, I've talked to a lot of people on my team who are.
Here, let's just do this sandwich.
It was a similar scenario where they just jumped in, started running right out of the gate, but which is great, but you don't fully understand the opportunity. So you're not able to convey the true excitement about the opportunity. So really understanding the income potential here, the growth potential, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, but just really understanding what we have with this opportunity and painting the vision of where your business could be in 2 months, in 6 months, in a year, but falling in love with the opportunity so that you can then share your excitement for the opportunity. Because once you see all the details and you see all of the things and you see how easy it is to earn, you're going to be super excited and you're going to be really feeling the passion, and also too, obviously, how much these products are helping people. That's another really big avenue to this, is these products are really helping so many. They're really changing lives. And to be able to have that and offer people the avenue to help others is really, really, really powerful.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think that it's just like, it's kind of when you talk about the vision and you see the vision, like I have it, I've got it, like I've caught the Green Compass vision bug. And I know a lot of you have too. And it's the belief factor, like the belief, like has anyone ever asked you, like, where's your belief scale? Like, if you had to choose like from 1 to 10 of a belief scale right now with your business, or you could use it as like just your self-development, right? Just you as a human, like where's your belief scale on your capability of what you are capable of, what you can do. And I think it's important to like think about that, because it's like, if my belief is a 0 right now, am I going to excel at this business? It's going to be hard, right? Because you're going to have a lot of things to overcome. But if we can like move that, and that's just with growth, and it's okay. And as you kind of just move forward and do the things and trust the process and get yourself out there a little bit, that scale is going to kind of go up. But I think it's good to gauge that now, and then to kind of do some of the activities that we kind of encourage you to do, and then you're gonna see that kind of move up. And then number 2, kind of leading into after the vision, so like Taylor said, it's like, okay, now what? Like, so let's say we have the vision, but we can't just sit here with the vision, like we've actually got to act on it, right? So how are we going to do that? We're going to talk about it, which seems like simple, like duh, but it's honestly like, I feel like since I signed up with Green Compass, I haven't stopped talking about it. Like, I can't get anything done. I'm just like, my house is in shambles. My kids are like, Mom, I don't have any like underwear. And I'm like, well, that's a problem. So, it's just a matter of time management is key, and I struggle. But it's important to be having the conversations and talking about it. And it's not like anything fancy. It's literally like, okay, you know, can I share here? Okay, I did that. All right, that's going to spark some things, right? And then I'm going to have back-ended conversations, and then I'm going to host an event, and then I'm going to get in a three-way like chat with a few girls and my whatever. So there's so many different ways. It's so simple, you guys. We just have to talk about it. It's just sharing. It's exciting. It's like you never know who literally is waiting. I was one of those people who have been waiting for this kind of opportunity for 10 years. And they're out there, a lot of them. A lot of people want to know about this because they've never heard of it, and it makes a lot of sense. So just talking about it.
Yeah, and when you're talking about it too, like Tabitha said, it doesn't have to be a whole big shebang where you're like stressing out and you're getting all sweaty and you're it can start out simple. And if you feel like you're like you don't know what to talk about the business, there are different avenues that you can obviously highlight. I mean, talking about the community aspect and posting a picture of us on a team Zoom and posting in, you know, about the sisterhood of it and all of that. And you can also talk about the income. You can talk about the product credit you get when you share. You can talk about, there's so many avenues to take when talking about the business opportunity. It doesn't have to feel repetitive. It doesn't have to feel like you're blah, blah, blahing about the same thing over and over and over again. Like take different avenues, because each of those avenues is going to speak to different people. And, you know, it's planting the seed, and then you say something about the income, and that's what gets them off of the ledge. So having a good, well-rounded, you know, take on sharing the business opportunity is important too. Do you want to take the third one, or do you want me to take the third one?
Yeah, that's fine. So then number 3, we have painting, like just painting the picture. And basically that's similar to the vision, but if you got to have the vision, right? And then we're going to transfer that to other people, and we're going to paint the picture. And this is my favorite part, because I just like feel it in my bones and I'm excited about it. And so I love to share it. And I want to give you guys like a few things that I'm saying, not that you need to say what I'm saying. It's just that like you might be thinking, well, how do I do that? Because I'm excited, but how do I transfer that? So a few things, you know, I have a couple different approaches, and everybody's going to do this differently. There's no right or wrong way. It's just what feels comfortable to you and what stands out to you about Green Compass. Like for me, it's like obviously the product and the fact that I feel like you're not going to find a better CBD. So I share those few things. I share that, you know, we're the only direct sales company to be USDA certified organic and have that label. You know, we're vertically integrated, which means nobody else has their hands in our product from seed to seal. Like that's a big deal. We are keeping track of everything that's going on. And then I talk about the fact that, you know, we have nano technology, which no one has. That's basically a technology for absorption that, you know, no one else has, and it creates great effectiveness because people are getting really great results with our products. So I kind of like, sometimes I hone in on that, right? And that in itself is just enough for a lot of times for people to be like, okay, like I trust this and this sounds legit. And I also like to share, you know, the CBD industry is very unregulated. Like Green Compass is raising the bar. So we're doing something really awesome here. But then when I kind of shift into talking about the business, you know, I talk about that there's only 8,500 advocates in the United States, that it's wide open. I talk about the fact that no one's doing what Green Compass is doing and it's untouched. And Taylor and I talked about this today, but something to note and something I think that's interesting is that the timing, like, you know, we keep saying like the time is now, but I was talking to some of my uplines the other day, and they were saying that, you know, they would rather join. I mean, they've been here and they, you know, have built a solid team and a big team, but they were like, we think that a better time to actually come into this company is now, because it's almost like the world is ready for CBD. Like a few years ago, do you think as many people would be open to CBD as they are now? I don't think so. Not at all. And so it's literally like the most perfect alignment and timing of this. And when you talk about, and I can't stop talking about it enough, about the market and the industry and what people are spending their money on, because it's so true. And so I like to share that side of things, and then shifting into just our like business model, I kind of shift into that and talk about that. Now, you don't have to do all that, because it doesn't take that to get someone to necessarily enroll. Like Taylor said, a lot of people are going to come into this because they just want the community. They want to learn more. They are looking for a bomb product that's going to help their nervous system. people are going to come in for various reasons, and you just meet them where they are, right? But when they feel your excitement and they're like, wow, or even just telling someone, like I've been telling people, like, I want you to do this with me. It's as simple as that. Like, I would love for you to do this with me. Like, this is massive. Like, it's a huge wave of momentum. And sometimes people are like, all right, they don't even know that you want them to do it with you unless you tell them. And a lot of times it's just that people want something to join, Did I miss anything, Taylor?
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I love every bit of that. And just to hone in real quick on some of the stats and what Tabitha was saying about it being the right time. So the Farm Bill was obviously introduced in 2018. So that's when CBD like first started to gain traction. But right now really is such a great time because, like Tabitha said, people are more familiar with it, but they're also overwhelmed by it. They also understand that it's an unregulated industry and there's a lot of gray area there. And that's where we can step in and bring so much education. And then, of course, bring only the highest quality products to people. So in 2023, the CBD market was valued at $7.7 billion. And in 2030, it's estimated to be $22 billion. So that's a lot of growth. And with Green Compass and their growth, it's really reflecting the massive need for CBD and also the demand for exactly what we've got. So Green Compass launched in 2019, and they were expected to do $300,000 in sales in their first year. They did 11.5 million. Whoa. Year 2, they doubled, 25 million. Year 3, doubled again, 50 million. Year 4, doubled again, 100 million. And I remember last month, we were not even halfway through the month. It was like, I don't know, the 12th or the 13th or something. And we were already hearing from Green Compass that our August sales had doubled July, not even halfway into the month. So right now, the growth is just continuing to skyrocket, and every single person on this call has the ability to be on the forefront of that growth, which is so exciting. It's exciting.
It's unbelievable. It's so cool. And Tanya was asking, wow, they were prepared to support that growth. And it's interesting. I had a call, I don't know, it's been about a month ago with the top leader in the company, Emily Beal, and she was talking about that. And she said, because I had some leaders that I brought on and they were asking that because we are, we're still only 4 years old. And they're very prepared for it. Now, anything can happen because like, obviously it's like you just grow, the company's growing too. And they're just like learning and navigating, I'm sure through this, but they do have a lot of systems and things in place. And of course, I don't know the logistics, but yes, they are very well equipped to handle that. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I feel very confident with that, but that's a good question, Tanya. Because a lot of times companies will, from what I've heard, I don't know. I've not experienced it myself, but I've heard of companies when they just explode and then all of a sudden it's like the company can't handle the growth, whether it's through the website or the back end of things. And it seems that Green Compass is really equipped with that. So that's pretty cool. So with that being said, go ahead.
Caitlin had a question in the chat real quick, just about, should we be talking more about advocating and getting people to join, or should we be talking more about getting people into the Perks Club? So in my personal opinion, you should always be leading with the business, always, because if you lead with the business, you're getting it right. You're getting it out of the way. And then you can default to the Perks Club. So you want people to be an advocate because they can get the free product credit and they can make commission. And it's just, obviously we want them to be on our team. And then you can default to the Perks Club if they're like, no, that's not for me, or I want to try the products first or whatever. Then you're like, awesome. Here's a way where you can save 20% for free. Here's my link, and kind of default there. Whereas it's kind of a harder upsell when you're starting with the products and you're like, hey, here's this jelly. Oh, by the way, do you want to join? Like, not that it's impossible, because obviously some conversations will start with the products when you're posting about the products in your stories, or the conversations are going to start with the products sometimes, but leading in any type of conversation that you can with the advocate program, you are going to sponsor way more, like not even a comparison.
No, I agree with that. And I think, you got to meet people where they are. Some people are going to come in and they're going to buy like as a PC first, and then they're going to see if they like it, and then they're going to join. Right. But I'm like, I feel like 90% am leading with the opportunity. And I think too, like, if you think about the fact that, think about just already being like in the community, and how I've learned so much just about CBD and products and like different things. Like, think of the fact that like when these people try these products, think of what they're missing out on without being a part of like the team and the groups and the info and different things that they have access to. And just like even the perks, like we don't talk a lot about, or I feel like Taylor and I talked about this today, we don't really talk a lot about the perks that we get as advocates. Like, we get free product, like just for sharing our friends share link, you get 10 points every time, which is basically $10 every time someone uses your $10 code. Therefore, you get to go in your back office and purchase products, which, by the way, I tried to do this today for Laura on our team. She was going to gift a gal some full spectrum jellies, but she didn't have enough points. And I was like, I have the points, I'll send it to her. Well, I went in there to do it, and I guess you can't use it on anything that's on a product that's newer, or that is not past 3 months old. However to word that. Like the product's still new enough that you can't utilize it. So it's not past the 3-month mark, that since the product's been out, we can't use our points on the full spectrum jellies. I didn't know that till today. I'm just telling you in case you guys go to try to redeem points on those, it's not going to work. So anyways, I couldn't do that because I couldn't use my points. But anyway, but how cool is it that just for us, like sharing the products and getting clients started, that we get product for ourselves, or the fact that we can utilize it as an incentive, which I love, because it's nice to throw in freebies and be like, hey, like if you enroll today with the whatever package, like you can, it's your business, you get to do what you want, which is really cool because you can utilize that free stuff.
Yeah, and another perk real quick that I really like is when somebody joins the Perks Club, they're saving 20%, but you are getting the full volume as if they were paying full price. So you're getting the full volume and you're earning on the full volume, not the 20% off price, which that I was like, that's so generous. Like that they're giving the customer 20% off for free, like just straight off the bat, 20% off. They have special deals and offers and things, and then we are earning on the full amount. Like that is unheard of, and really such a great perk.
Yeah. No, it is. And it adds up fast. Cause like, for example, like the full spectrum jellies are $99 as a PC customer. And then you get it for, I think you get the volume for like 120 something. So it's pretty cool. That adds up over the month with like your volume.
Yeah, it really adds up. And just the whole PC program is really great, and it's perfect because it's just a perfect funnel for clients to go in, and it's free for them to join, and it's a really great funnel. So it's a really just all around, I feel like Green Compass has put the systems and the programs in place to support everything, because also I'm not sure if this is all customers or only customers that are a part of the Perks Club, but they have a friend share link also where they can share their link, like a referral program where they're not an advocate, they're not earning commission. We would be earning the commission, but they would get $10 in points to redeem on products. So that's another really great thing too.
Yeah, which is great. We were talking, we're not sure like on all the logistics of that, but at the end of the day, if someone is sharing I'm always like, if you're sharing your link, like if you're sharing my link and you're wanting to get like referral points, just sign up as an advocate. But
But it's a great segue because you can see your clients who do share and who do refer people, and then you're like, oh hey, you might as well. Like, here's the commission you just missed out on by referring this person to me. You might as well join and make that commission for yourself and still get that $10 in product credit.
No, for sure. I love that. Steffi asks about okay, so if someone taps her sticker, can you give an example of how you'd lead with opportunity? So, okay, so you're saying they tap, okay, to learn about CBD. So you could kind of, this is like, you could go a couple different ways. Here's what I normally do, and Taylor, you can hone in on this. If I'm talking about CBD and I'm saying tap the sticker if you want to learn more about CBD, that's what I'm kind of leading with in this moment, right? So when I go to message them, I'm kind of like, that's what I'm about to like really focus on here. But I might say something as I like tell them a little bit. I might just throw in like at the end something like, or if you have any interest in learning about Green Compass and the opportunity, like I'd love to share it with you. It's, the company's exploding right now. And I've never seen anything like it. Like, I'd love to, share that with you as well. And kind of just like, slide that in there, that's what I would do. But I feel like if you're going to lead with the opportunity, I think it's good to do some mixed up things, like sometimes lead with the product, because you never know if the conversation could turn into the opportunity, but then I still lead with the opportunity too. But I do feel as though if you lead sometimes with the product, because here's the thing, if I'm a consumer and I'm watching your stuff, but I'm like unsure about any opportunity, I've never done direct sales, right? Like, let's put ourselves in like people's shoes. But I'm interested in CBD, but I would like not be interested in the opportunity because I know nothing about it. Guess what? I might be interested in CBD. I'm more likely to tap the sticker about the product than I am if you're talking about the business. Because right now, like as I'm talking about the business, it's new, right? People are seeing it from me for some of the first times. So for now, like things are really exploding. And I look for it to continue to grow, but it's getting less and less, just to be transparent, of people that are tapping that they want to know about the business. That doesn't scare me. That means nothing to me. It just means that people just don't know. People don't understand, like, why would they want to be a part of it, right? And that's where we get to educate in our stories about the products, about what it's doing for us, and then inching in the business on a day-to-day basis. So does that help, Steffi? Like, I feel like people are more apt to, like, because it's not as big of a commitment, right? Because they're like, I just want to try CBD. I just want to know about CBD. I don't want to get all involved in your business. What do you think, Taylor?
Yeah, I agree. I personally, if you're doing the products and you're talking in your stories about the products and it's a sticker tap, that's not a time when I would personally lead with the business. Just because I don't want to scare anybody and I don't want anybody to, not want to buy the products because they think I'm recruit them, or they don't want to like be added to some list where they think I'm going to message them, all the time, like, hey, are you going to join? Like, people get scared by that. So what I would do in that situation is pretty much what Tabitha said, give them like a brief blurb just about, their USDA organic, the efficacy and the standards of this company is amazing. They're called Green Compass. Have you heard of them? And then, they can say like, yes, I've heard of them, or no, most likely they'll say no, I've never heard of them. You can be like, I just recently partnered with them. I'd love to give you some more information about partnering with them or the products. Let me know what you're more interested in, or something like that, where you're kind of seeing where they are, have they heard of Green Compass? Are they familiar? Or, have you used CBD before even? Something like that, where that's a little bit more broad. I'd probably just go in with the have you heard of Green Compass? And then you can slide the business in without being like, hey, you should join. Yeah.
I think as you lead, the thing of it is like, if you just kind of trust, like, I just trust where the conversation is going, right? Like, I've done this for a while, so I don't like overthink it, but I just kind of lead with like, you'll know where to meet them, right? You'll know where to meet them. Like, do they want the product? Are they super interested? If they're like, yeah, I use CBD all the time, I've used it for years. Okay, perfect advocate, right? Like if they're telling you that they've used it and they love it, all right, boom. Like here's a direct, like I'm ready to hit them with this because they would be a perfect advocate. But yeah, I love what you said, Kate, about how you can kind of give them the options. Like once you get to the point of purchasing, let them decide, right? We can never assume that someone just wants a product and that's all they want and they never haven't want anything to do with the business. I never assume because I'm wrong.
Yeah, and I mean, you can just offer the advocate program up when you're explaining the Perks Club. You know, there's 3 ways to purchase from Green Compass: purchase as a retail, purchase as a member of the Perks Club, join as an advocate. Let me know if you want more information about, you know, any of the perks for those. So that way you're not directly like, hey, do you want to join? But you're like, hey, these are the options, these are the benefits of each. And
Yes.
yeah.
No, those are good questions. Well, all of that leads us to the last thing that we want to talk about. We're just like, we're doing some sponsoring basics. And that's where we're actually going to be running a team-wide opportunity call next Thursday, which we're really excited about because we haven't really like done this as a team yet, where we've done our own and we're like taking the bull by the horns and we're like going to share it with the world. So I'm excited. This is a perfect tool to basically point to, like, a third party tool is so important because like whether it's a video, right? Like we have the endocannabinoid, that TED Talk video that, like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's something that's so good and it's so eye-opening. So like if someone doesn't know about CBD, I'm like, here you go. Like I want you to learn about this. But with our video, with our opportunity call, it's going to be good because you are going to be having these conversations, right? And then you're going to have these people that sit on the fence and they're just not going to like, they're not going to know what to do. And these calls are great because I think it just exposes them to our community and to our vibe and to the culture and to what's possible for them. And there's just so many things. And so we don't have the layout yet of that yet, but we're going to be working on that. So I'm really excited. That's going to be next Thursday at 8 Central Standard Time. And so hopefully that's something you guys can go ahead and start. I would start making a list. I would start, like, I have an envelope here that I have a list of people that I'm contacting for my events that I'm doing this weekend. But start writing a list of people, like, as you talk this week, like the conversations start now and you probably already have seeds that you've planted. So go ahead and start the list of like the 5 people that you've talked to that were just, you know, they haven't seen a resource or a third party tool and you want them to be there to watch this and to listen to it. Because really those tools are what really helps close people a lot of times. And that's what we want to do. We want to help you and streamline it so that it's not just you on an island. You feel like you're by yourself trying to get people to join, because that's not fun. So we want to make sure that you feel like you have these tools where you can like get people involved and they feel like a part of it.
Yeah, and we'll have the recording. Obviously, from the call, it will be recorded, so you'll be able to use that recording for the rest of the month or even beyond. But anybody who you have talked to about the business or planted the business seed, invite them to this call. It's a really great time to follow up. It's a non-spammy way. If you can say something as simple as, hey, I know we were chatting about you potentially with Green Compass a couple weeks ago or whatever. My team's hosting a call on Thursday where we're going to be sharing more information. I'd love to see you there. Something like so simple as that, where you're thinking of them, you're inviting them to come join us, to come experience the community here without being like, hey, it's a reminder, join, you're going to join. Like it's a really great, just a follow-up method too.
Yeah. And I think another thing too to think about is as you get customers involved, like you're getting, you know, PC clients, or you have a few clients already that are trying the products, that's a great person to reach out to too. Like, I know you're loving your products. I would love for you to just like see what this business is all about. Like, it might not be for you, and that's totally fine. It might be the farthest thing from your brain right now, but I would love to share it with you because I think you would be really surprised as to like what we have here with this company and what you would be like capable of. And it's just as simple as that. So I would just, and here's another tip though. I'm just saying, if you have someone who's like super interested this is my personality and y'all can do whatever you want. But if, let's say you talk to someone tonight and they're like, I want to, like, I'm so interested in this. Absolutely do not like wait until next week to put them in the call. Like, definitely, like, these calls are for people that, like, maybe you talked to the day or two before, they've been on the fence, like, but if you have someone that's really super interested, I don't recommend holding them off until next Thursday and being like, okay, I'm going to have you come to the opportunity call. No, like, we should address this now, get your upline involved. Let's close them. When people are excited and they're really interested, now's the time, because people change their mind. And they're like, they talk to their grandma and they talk to their friend and they talk to their boyfriend or husband. And then they're like, I shouldn't do this, whatever. So not that we're trying to like rush them into a decision. I just mean, like, if they're excited, then we should definitely help them get enrolled if that's what they want to do. So any other questions? I don't think we had anything else.
Yeah, Jen has a question in the chat. Can I do or say if somebody is already using marijuana? So marijuana is very high in THC and very low in CBD. Can smoke all the weed that they want and they're not getting benefits of CBD. So that's somebody who you necessarily want to recommend starting dosing like low and slow. They're gonna want to start with probably the full dose, just because they're very familiar with their body is very familiar with cannabinoids, what to do with them and all of that, and they're obviously not sensitive to it. So yeah. In fact, too, CBD kind of competes with THC when you're consuming them. So if you ever take too much THC, CBD will nullify the effects and your high won't be as intense. That's your thing, just a fun fact. Yeah, so
That's a good question.
people who go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just saying that's a good question, because I think that, there are a lot of people whose bodies are familiar with it and they are kind of like, so how does this work? And like, what would I take and what would be beneficial and all of that. So I think that, and actually I'm just saying those people also are no stranger to it. Therefore, they might make a really great advocate. They're familiar. They're a fan, right? They're a fan of plant medicine. So it's like, perfect. Join. Oh, shoot. All right. Anything else anybody wants to ask before we jump off? This was so good, you guys. I hope you feel like just so pumped to just share it. I don't know. I think it's important to just set a goal, like whatever, not like a goal, but just like, how many people are you going to talk to? Like, even tonight when we get off the call, maybe you have like 20 minutes and you can just like, share some messages, invite 3 people, reach out to them. Tomorrow, same thing. Try 3 more, and sometimes it's a numbers game, and it just takes a lot of conversation sometimes, and that's okay. And it takes exposure, and that's okay too. So let's do a quick picture if you guys don't care. If anybody wants to come off their video, they can. If you don't, it's totally fine. I would love to see your face if you do, though. I get a lot of, I've done that and I'm good for now, thanks. Do you go back? Like, you mean they have done CBD in the past and they are good for now? Am I reading that right? Yes. So here's something to think about that this is what I like to share, because I don't know, right? I don't know what they used. Lord only knows what they used, to be honest. And the effectiveness of it was probably, if I had to guess, probably not good. If anyone comes to me and says, I tried CBD and it didn't work, I don't believe that it didn't work. It might not have worked, but it was only because of the product that they were using. Because I call BS if you use CBD. I think it like doesn't not work for people. Like, it's going to work in some way, or they weren't consistent with it. Right. So I feel like if you explain, that's where I don't want to argue with them or combat the fact that they said it didn't work. That's fine. But I want to let them know that this is a different product. This is quite different from anything that they've tried and anything that they've been exposed to before. And it does make a difference on the quality. You know, what were they using? Like, is it straight from China? Is it hemp grown in China? Are they using the stem, the stalk, and the seed to create quantity in the product and not just using the flower like we're using? You know, there's so many things. What's the absorption like? What's the oil that they're using? Because if they're using like EVOO as a carrier oil instead of like MCT, which is what we use, it can actually break down the CBD, and it makes it very non-effective. So there's a lot of factors that that we don't know, and we don't really care about what they were using, but we want to educate them on the fact that I would be very shocked if you didn't notice a difference with this, because you won't not have, you know, some kind of an effect.
Yeah, and also promoting the 30-day money back guarantee also, you know, it's like, why not give it a try? See if you have a different experience with these products. And if you don't like it, you can return them. But most people are really liking them, you know, and it's also an opportunity to, if you don't want to push them and you don't want to be like, feel like you're hounding them. If you feel like they're like, I'm good for now, thanks. Like, you can take a step back, of course, and continue to educate in your stories and share in your stories why Green Compass really is a step above, and kind of let them see that for themselves, but still keep them on your list, obviously, because you want to be at the top of their mind. So be responding to their stories, be engaging with them so that they are seeing your stories, because that's going to give them a better shot at seeing your stories.
Yeah, for sure. I always use objections like for ammo sometimes, because I'm like, okay, if someone has this objection, more people have it, right? And so I want to like share it, and I want to educate on it in my stories, and I'll sometimes use that as my like, that's the point today that I'm making on my stories, and I'm leading from that, because as you continue to share and show up and expose them, they're gonna change, you know, their perspective a little bit, because they're gonna be more educated on what we're doing here. Okay, so today I tried it and it gave me anxiety. It could be, you know, what Emily shared, Steffi, that like bell curve too. It could be like, how much did they use? Like, that could be a factor. If they're like someone like myself who has anxiety about taking things, and I dream that I'm having anxiety because I have anxiety about taking things. Um, you know, there's some factors in there I don't know. It's hard to say. It really is. I feel like at that point, all you can do is trial and error with them. Like, okay, like let's just go with a couple drops. Like, try a couple drops of the tincture. Let's do that today. How did that feel in your body? You know, I don't think you'll get that a lot, but there could be a couple of reasons that they're feeling that way about it. I don't know. Taylor, do you have a recommendation on that?
It's so hard to say, because there's different strains. They could be using the stem or different parts of the plants, the roots, which carry a lot of toxins. It's with hemp. That's another thing. If you don't know why the quality of CBD is so important, hemp pulls and cleans the soil. So anything that's in the soil, any heavy metals, any contaminants, anything like that, hemp does a great job for the soil and cleans it all up. But then the hemp plant is holding on to all of that. So then obviously taking a really concentrated tincture made from that same plant is not good. So it's really hard to say when somebody says that they had a bad experience with a CBD oil, because it's like, who knows? Like, it could be the oil that they were using as the carrier oil, could be contaminants, could be heavy metals, could be strains, could be different terpenes that were at really high levels that are found in the stem. There's a lot of variables there. So my go-to response is just always, you know, I'm really sorry you had that experience. Green Compass's quality and efficacy is unmatched. They do have a 30-day money back guarantee to stand behind their product. So I would love for you to try it and see if it works better for you than what you were using before. Because most people who the people who have tried CBD and haven't liked it, they are really the perfect person to try Green Compass, like the perfect. Their mind's open to it. They're looking for effects from it, obviously. And we have the product that is going to work better than any other company.
And it's kind of interesting because I have talked to a few people, and maybe you guys have too, that have tried Delta 8, Delta 9, which, just so you know, are synthetic cannabinoids basically. And they're very dangerous. And a lot of these companies are putting that in, which apparently I found this out yesterday. I guess I still need to like dig into this, but I guess those are actually naturally occurring in products. Very low amounts are naturally occurring, but somehow they're making this.
Well, all about, I mean, so there's the molecules that are found in the raw hemp plant that are growing in the raw cannabis plant. And then there is, when the plant is growing, those molecules make new molecules. And then once the flower is harvested and it's, what is it called? Decarboxylated or something. I can't even, denatured. Basically the compounds are denatured and then they make new compounds. So then you've got like, I actually was looking at a chart earlier with all of them. Then once those same compounds have been oxidized and they've aged, that's where other compounds come in. So like CBN is THC basically after it's been oxidized and it's old. So it's like all of the psychoactive effects have basically like died off because it's been sitting there and it's oxidized, but it's the same, like it's from THC, even though it's a different compound.
Yeah.
It's really like the science of all, it's like, and what's crazy too is the endocannabinoid system is still so, like there's not a ton out there in terms of like how all the receptors are working and like what receptor is it when actually working with that receptor. Like there's not a lot out there because the endocannabinoid system has been buried intentionally because it is the master system. But yeah, obviously I can go on and on about this topic, so I'll zip it. But it's really true.
I think I've talked to people though that have had like ill effects from like the Delta 8 and Delta 9 because they picked up some CBD somewhere and it had these synthetic, you know, cannabinoids in it or whatever. And my point in saying that is people have like, I have talked to a couple people, a lady yesterday who is wanting to try the product, but she has anxiety around it because she took something that like gave her all kinds of hallucinations and all kinds of stuff. So she's super like nervous about taking it. And I'm like, you know, you're not going to have this. Like I can absolutely assure you, but sometimes people have anxiety around it because they've taken something really crappy that has given them, you know, a bad effect. And so anyway, that's something to kind of note too for people. That's awesome.
Okay, let's do a picture.
Okay, let's do a picture and then we're gonna go. All right.
Then we're leaving.
We're out. All right. Everyone say cheese. Yay, I got it. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm so excited to see what's to come for September and we'll be in touch. Have a good night. Bye.